That DiJonai Carrington had circled on her calendar and wanted the world to see happen tonight. And how did it turn out? Caitlin Clark had 37 points, 10 assists, 8 threes, and we got this lovely reaction. But I want to point out something that happened in the game. Some of the Chicago Sky, including DiJonai Carrington, to me, were looking for a fight this game. And Caitlin, instead of talking about it in the media, just did it with her basketball skills, and this is one of the plays that happened.
Indiana can regain the lead. Clark, another step back three. Yes. And a little bit of passion afterwards. You love it. This is...
So DiJonai purposely runs into Clark, and then Clark just waves her off. You can tell that Clark was just over that storyline, and with that...
Look closely at Caitlin Clark's arm. Fresh footage from the Fever's win over the Chicago Sky is getting attention for a reason nobody expected. This time, the conversation isn't about a deep three, a spectacular crossover, or another unbelievable assist. It's about the visible marks covering Clark's forearm, including what appear to be fingernail scratches. And that immediately raises an uncomfortable question. How much contact is Clark absorbing without getting a whistle? The footage appears to show defenders constantly fighting through her, reaching for her, grabbing her, and making heavy contact as they try to keep her from getting downhill.
Took the ref 30 business days to call this foul on Caitlin Clark. But of course they want to demonize Clark and be like, she was overreacting. She's the most fouled player in the league. What are we doing? Why was the whistle not blown right here? Grabbing her, blow the fucking whistle, man. And then she had to do all this again to finally put her hand up. Like, what are we doing, man? Enrique's ugly ass falling down all over the place, foul call. You look at Asia Wilson, foul call, but it takes the ref looking direct. Look, why is her hand not up? Takes the ref 30 business days to call this. But let's demonize Clark. No, all these players fear Caitlin Clark. They fear for their lives when this woman is on the court and they have to hack her, tackle her. Odyssey Sims tackle Clark in this game and everything because she's the 11th best guard and we're going to guard her this way though. Like, you guys are fucking ridiculous, man. It's like the refs just want Clark to get beat up and hacked. These people just want her to just play through it. And it's like, it's not part of the game to get fouled and have to play through it.
Yet possession after possession goes by without a foul being called. What makes the situation more concerning to many fans is that this doesn't look like one isolated incident from one aggressive defensive sequence. Similar complaints about the physical treatment Clark receives have been appearing repeatedly. Then there's the statistic that has pushed this discussion even further.
About to show you 10 missed calls last game. That Caitlin Clark got fouled and the ref never called it. There's a moving screen. She's moving all over the place. Hits her with the shoulder like always. Look at this. Fouls her, holding her, and fouls the crap out of her. No foul. Look at this. She got fouled the whole game. They didn't call this a foul. Look at this one. Like, her body's all over her. How is that not a foul? Look at this one. Cardosa swipes her once, twice, just tries to grab her. Can you imagine being fouled the entire game? Every time you hit half court, every time you dribble, every time you drive. Look at this. Sheldon clearly has her hand on Caitlin Clark's shoulder when she's shooting it. They even showed a replay. It's exactly where I thought it was. Watch this. Her arm is on Caitlin Clark's shoulder the whole...
Caitlin Clark has reportedly recorded just 8 non-technical free throws across her last 12 quarters of basketball. 8 free throws over 12 complete quarters. That is a surprisingly low number for a player who spends so much time attacking defenses, creating off the dribble, and drawing heavy defensive attention. And when you put that number next to the footage, it's easy to understand why fans are questioning the officiating. Free throws are supposed to be awarded when defensive contact crosses the line. So when a player is repeatedly being bumped, held, grabbed, or hit while attacking, the expectation is that some of that contact should eventually result in trips to the line. But with Clark, many viewers believe the opposite is happening. The more physical the defense becomes, the more difficult it seems to be for her to receive consistent calls.
for this WNBA player to be suspended after she intentionally pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye. You can see here, she misses the ball with an open palm and then hones it into this little sharp, pointy hand and jabs it right into her eyeball. One more time, right in the eye. And believe it or not, she didn't even get a foul for this. It was so intense as well that as the game progressed, you could tell she was getting a black eye just from the hit. There is no doubt in my mind that what this WNBA player did was 100% intentional, and honestly, I think it should have a huge suspension as well.
Of course, not every piece of contact is automatically a foul. Basketball is an intensely physical sport, and players are going to make contact throughout a game. A scratch on an arm also doesn't automatically prove that a defender intentionally tried to hurt someone. That's an important distinction, but the bigger issue is the overall pattern. If a defender cannot stay in front of Clark off the dribble, the temptation is to become more physical. A hand reaches in, a jersey gets pulled, an arm gets bumped. An off-ball screen becomes more aggressive. Sometimes those actions happen quickly enough that officials don't see them clearly, and when that happens repeatedly, frustration naturally builds. Clark continues to attack anyway. She drives into traffic, absorbs contact, gets back to her feet, and immediately runs to the other end of the floor. Instead of becoming hesitant, she continues looking for opportunities to attack the same defensive weaknesses. That's one of the most impressive parts of her game. Many players would naturally begin avoiding contact after taking repeated hits.
This wasn't called a foul. This wasn't called a flagrant foul. There was no whistle blown on this play. This play never went under review. This play has absolutely nothing to do with basketball. As you can see, the ball is all the way over there. This is just someone getting mauled. The WNBA is stupid and is not a serious organization.
They might settle for jump shots or hesitate before driving into the paint. Clark often does the opposite. She keeps putting pressure on the defense and trusts herself to make the next play. But that resilience shouldn't mean the physicality goes unchecked. If the league wants its stars healthy and its games fairly officiated, repeated physical contact deserves attention. Hard fouls, off-ball grabbing, illegal holds, and excessive contact should be reviewed consistently regardless of which player is involved. And that's why the free throw statistic matters. It shouldn't automatically be used as proof that officials are deliberately ignoring Clark. There are plenty of factors that can influence free throw attempts, including shot selection, defensive schemes, and the way individual games are played. But when the numbers are combined with repeated footage showing significant contact, the conversation becomes much harder to dismiss. Fans aren't simply reacting to one scratch or one missed call. They're looking at weeks of physical possessions and asking whether Clark is receiving the same level of protection as other players.
These are plays we've seen from DiJonai.
These are the plays. Look. Yanking her down. Oh, that's a basketball play, y'all. And tell me if you notice a common denominator. Look. Basketball play, look. Basketball play. I didn't know you can rip somebody's hair out. That's a basketball. Look. Ankle injury. That's a basketball play, y'all. Look. Poke right in the eye. It's not this many basketball plays in the world. There's not this many coincidences in the world. She went up like this and came down like this and poked an eye. Knocked her all upside her head. Now she got seats. Like, this is what you call a track record. Look. Not even going for the ball. Like, come on.
But that's what DiJonai Carrington does.
And we know. And that's been part of the problem. Because we've been telling y'all, this is what she does and has a...
That's the question the league ultimately has to answer. Because Caitlin Clark's value to the game isn't just about scoring points. She's one of the league's biggest stars, and keeping its most recognizable players healthy should matter to everyone involved. Contact will always be part of basketball. Competitive defense will always be part of basketball.
Caitlin Clark now has more 30-point, 10-assist games in her career, with 5, than the rest of the WNBA has combined in league history. Let that sink in. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee while that sinks in. Yeah. Yeah, by herself, she's got more 30-point, 10-assist games by herself than the entire league combined. Entire league history.
But there's a difference between playing hard and allowing physicality to consistently cross the line. And if the same pattern continues, this won't disappear after one viral clip.
So, look at this. This is where you're like, this is loser shit. Oh, I'm going to pretend to flop. DiJonai just shoved Caitlin. She literally just walked into Caitlin and shoved her. Caitlin dribbled the ball and she just shoved her. And she just goes that. Caitlin didn't even throw her head back. And then waits for Caitlin, like, starts shit talking, throws her head back. Caitlin doesn't see her. doesn't see her, and then goes and does it again. Like, that is the most loser shit ever. That is the most loser shit ever. Like, and the worst part is that DiJonai checked into the game while Caitlin Clark was, while Caitlin was on the bench, and DiJonai started off really well. Really well, DiJonai started. As soon as Caitlin Clark, as soon as Caitlin Clark checks in the game, DiJonai suddenly is like, I don't care about basketball anymore. I don't care about basketball. The only thing that I care about is, can I go and clip?
It will become an even bigger conversation about officiating, player safety, and how the league protects its biggest stars.